Hi everyone, this is Bethany, Be a Crafty Girl, and I am back to show you some more little bags I made with that die, because I said I would be back. And I just wanted to show you some things that I found out. So before I went to the store, I did some looking around at the house, and I found some parchment paper, and thought I would give that a try. And I had two different brands. So this first one, I used the same stamp sets, the same inks, etc. The inks I used were the neon inks from Hero Arts, and the stamps are this one and yes, the ink stains your stamps horribly. And this one's the With All My Heart. This one is the Framed Out number 11. And they're from Paper Trank, as well as the dies, except for the bag die. The bag die is from Lifestyle Crafts. So anyway, this is the Wilton brand parchment paper, and here's my little sack. It is so cute. It does, I think it's more sack-like out of these things I'm showing you instead of cardstock. The Wilton brand parchment paper was easier to stamp on. But if you use the parchment paper, and I'm going to say this, whatever brand you use, unless you go and find some other brand and it's not true, but you're going to have to heat set it, the ink, if you stamp directly on the bag, like I did here. You're going to have to heat set it because it won't stay. Even if you let it dry for hours, it will not stay. Also, you have to adhere the bag together with the glue, with liquid glue. Your ATG or your snail or whatever dry adhesive, that's not going to work. And the only thing with this one is, with the Wilton brand, is that when I heat set it, it curled up like nobody's business. And as you can see, it still wants to curl up. Also, on the Wilton brand, whatever you use to adhere needs to be liquid glue or possibly foam adhesive. Possibly foam adhesive would work. So there's that. Like my ATG, no, wasn't going to happen. So anyway, here's how this one turned out. It was easier to work with in terms of stamping, but not as easy to work with in terms of adhesive and the curling issue. But here's that. I am so glad I decided to try out different papers, because I was a wee bit disappointed on the first one. So there's that one. The second one, or this one, this was actually the first one I did. That was the last one I did. This one was the last one I did. This was the first one I did. This is the Glad brand, I think. Hold on. No, this is the Reynolds brand of parchment paper, and not as easy to stamp on. But when I heat set it, it didn't do the curl up thing, which was awesome. So side by side, this one I think is a little sturdier. Like the weight of the paper is a little, yeah. Like the weight of this paper is not. Like this is a little thicker. This was a pain in the tush to stamp on though, and it has to be heat set. And what I found about the heat setting is when you go to heat set it, the ink will turn really dark and you're like, oh no, I burnt the paper. You didn't. It's fine. You have to heat set it and then let it completely cool and then check to see if it's done. If it's still hot and you check the ink, it'll feel like it's still wet, so you have to let it completely cool off, which doesn't take very long. So out of the parchment papers, for final product, I think I like the, what did I say it was? Yeah, the Reynolds brand. I haven't tried the Glad brand. I don't even know if there is a Glad brand. That might need to be researched. But anyway, I think I like the result of this one more so than this one. I think this one just looks a little messy, in my opinion, because it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of wrinkly. This one doesn't seem as wrinkly to me. But, and these would be great to put like cookies in, I think. If you use the, oh, this is what I was going to say about the Reynolds one. I don't know how I'm going to adhere it together because I used liquid glue. I used the Tombow Monomulti, and as you can see, it just came undone. Maybe I just didn't use enough because this one hasn't come apart. And this is the adhesive I used. Maybe I just didn't use enough. Also, in my other video, I talked about how I didn't have the extended platform for my big kick. I do have the extended plates, but that's like for my bigs dies that are thick anyway and you don't need the platform, so I never had the extended platform. If you are going to do the parchment paper bags, I would strongly, strongly suggest you get the extended platform if you don't have it. Now, I believe if you have like some of the newer machines, it already comes with an extended platform, which is awesome. But these were a little harder to pick the die up and turn it around for it to go back through again. Just as a little side note. I think they all turned out really cute. I think if I can figure out how to get an adhesive to really adhere this together, I think I would prefer the Reynolds brand parchment paper to the Wilton brand. See how it's curling under? I don't like that. But you know, either works, if that makes any sense. Easier to stamp on, not as easy to stamp on, whatever. Okay, and that's just my cute thing. I love that stamp set. Not necessarily because it's Valentine's, but look at all the layering stuff you can do and the multi-stamping, and it's awesome. So anyway, there's the parchment paper ones. Then I went to Walmart, which was a little concerning, but I went to Walmart and I might never be going back, but it wasn't that bad. It just weirded me out. If you want to know, I'll private message you. Leave me a comment. But this is this is what I went to Walmart to get. Was this craft paper on a roll, and it's awesome. It's $5. Well, I think it came to like $4 and some change, but for a ginormous roll. In fact, I'll show you. Covering the camera. Okay, so there's the Wilton brand parchment paper that I had at my house. This is what I went to Walmart for. This roll of craft paper stuff. And it's like a ginormous roll, and it was $4 and some change, and it is by like the bubble mailers and the boxes and the packing tape. That's where you find this. So anyway, back to the bag. This is the other bag I made. I am super excited that I found that craft paper because it really feels like a paper bag, I think, in my opinion. So this would be cute. Like I think these would be more suitable for like cookies or brownies or something. And this would be more suitable for like a Valentine card type thing, or a gift card, or, you know. But I think this looks more like a bag and feels more like a bag than my very first one, than this one. This one to me feels more like a pocket, whereas this one to me feels more like a bag. I don't know. You guys can tell me if I'm crazy down in the comments. It doesn't matter to me. But, so yeah. Here was my first attempt. I think it's more like a pocket than a bag. Here was my second attempt. Pain in the tush to stamp on, but I think it turned out really cute. And bag-like. And here was my third attempt. And I think this is bag-like as well. So that was a success. Yay. And this is the other heart. This is one of the other hearts in that, what's it called? With All My Heart, yeah. With All My Heart, and then you can do all the layering with the little flowers right here. And you can put little words in that banner. And then right here it says with all my heart. I think that's adorable. All with neon. Yay! I love it. And then this was my last attempt. And it's cute. I don't know. It's weird to me. And I actually centered something. Aren't you proud of me? Anyway, I have rambled on long enough. I think the point of this video is if you use thinner paper, this bag die will actually look like a bag and not like a pocket. I think that's the point of this video. Ta-da! I don't know. Ta-da! I think I'm gonna make one more of these. I don't really like this one. Like, I like this part. I totally like this part. It almost looks like a card front. I don't like that I used this bag die with cardstock. Anyway, you live and you learn, right? I hope that this video was informational. And yeah, I don't have to go back to work until Monday. I am like so excited. Because usually I have to go back like on the 2nd or 3rd. But this year we don't have to go back until the 7th, which is pretty darn cool. So anyway, thank you for watching my long video, and I will see you in the next one.